Prince Harry and Betty Maiden. Hello, my name is Eva and welcome to Jones Moans. I didn't get a proper job until I was in my late 40s. I had spent most of my working life in the ICT industry. In my late 40s, I got a job as an assistant gardener on a private estate in Suffolk. So I now talk to plants, where I have a much more sensible conversation with plants than with people. The head gardener I worked for in Suffolk was Scottish. He had been trained at Balmoral Castle, that's the royal estate in Scotland. The head gardener had lived in a cottage on the Balmoral estate with his family. He worked there in the 1990s. His children were roughly the same age as Princes William and Harry. The head gardener told me a story once about the two young royals when they had been in his cottage with his own children. His wife had cooked a meal for the two princes, the gardener's children and the gardener. She had made them all chip butties. The head gardener had told me that William and Harry thought the chip butties were great. I worked with the Scottish head gardener for nearly 5 years, from around 2010. I gained hands-on experience of all the things I had studied at Horticultural College. Pests and diseases became something that you could easily identify and know how to deal with the problems. We grew sweet peas on the estate in the kitchen garden as a cut flower, and I now grow cut flowers in Brittany and sell at local markets. My main crop is sweet pea, and I can stretch their season from April to the end of September, and my customers know me for my bois de senteur, sweet peas. Until 2020, I grew varieties that were favourites of the Scottish head gardener, varieties like Charlie's Angel, Daphne Pink Panther, Betty Maiden and Cirrus, and many others. All these varieties have long stems and a good scent, so they make a very good cut flower. And I managed to find all of these from wholesale seed suppliers in the UK. These varieties aren't available in France, which is why I had to get them from the UK. And actually there's very few varieties of flowers available in France, and there are no flowers that you can bulk buy as an individual business. I bought all of my seeds from the UK before Brexit. I really didn't think importing flower seeds would be a problem. Since the UK left the EU, officials have managed to find an excuse to stop just about anything being imported or from the UK into Europe. With the seeds, they have used the phytosanitary certification and plant passport system as an excuse to stop trade. As with all regulations and laws, you can sort of understand why they're there if you work in the sector that the regulations apply. While the UK were part of the EU, I could order what I liked from my seeds wholesale suppliers and have them posted to France. I also had an online retail shop for UK seeds that I posted on to customers in France. On the 31st of January 2020, when the UK left the EU, all exports of seeds stopped. I had to stop selling my retail seeds, so I shut down my online shop. And the cost and additional bureaucracy made it prohibitive for my UK wholesale suppliers to send any seeds to the EU. After a while, some restrictions were lifted. As a member of the public, you can order retail packets from the UK to be delivered to an address in France. You could not, as a business, order wholesale packs or retail packs to sell on. As my main crop is sweet pea, I've had to settle for buying seeds from an online supplier in France, and these seeds have been very bad quality. They're labelled as mixed, and I no longer have a choice of any varieties. the varieties that I had before we went into Brexit. There are good reasons for having the phytosanitary certification and the plant passport system in place. The regulations should stay in the hands of professional horticulturalists and not government officials to make up rules as they go along. Do I think that officials have used the phytosanitary certification and plant passport system as a tool to stop trade between the UK and the EU? Absolutely. Unless, of course, there is a death by sweet pea elephant in the room that only the officials know about. Betty Maiden is a variety of sweet pea. Do I think that there is a link between Prince Harry and Betty Maiden? Don't know. I've no idea who Betty Maiden is. Thank you for watching.